ago, I started the discussion under attending the mosque is a moral must for our community and especially our youth. And I'd like to particularly emphasize on the importance of attendance of our youth in the mosque. We already know the importance of the masjid in the Quran. 28 times the word masjid and masajid mentioned in the Quran. And we know that those top three mosques, Masjid al-Haram, Masjid al-Nabawi al-Sharif, and Masjid al-Aqsa, are those three mosques, central mosque for the Ummah. But then the Quran also talks about all the mosques. It says, خُذُوا زِينَتَكُمْ عِنْدَ كُلِّ مَسْجِدٍ. The Quran talks about every mosque. أَقِيمُوا وُجُوهَكُمْ عِنْدَ كُلِّ مَسْجِدٍ. Again, the word كُلِّ masjid, every masjid. And finally, وَأَنَّ الْمَسَاجِدَ لِلَّهِ. All the masajid are for Allah. These are not Sheikh Ali or Sheikh Mohammad, Sheikh Taghi or Dr. X, Y. It is masajid lillah. These are the houses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we all need to help one another to keep the houses of Allah clean. So when everyone comes smelling good, loving, welcoming, open to everyone, man, woman, children, black, white, Eastern, Western, all nationality, everybody should be welcome in the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We think that masjid is just a place for prayer. Obviously, that is one of the functions of the masjid. صلاة واحدة في المسجد هذا مضمون واحد من الأحاديث أفضل من 40 سنة صلاة فرادى في البيت. When you pray one Salatul Jama'ah in the masjid, this is hadith from An-Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. It is better than 40 years you suddenly pray by yourself in your house. This is not from me, this is from the Prophet, peace be upon him. And it makes more sense when you look at the Quran. Quran says, وَارْكَعُوا مَعَ الرَّاكِعِينَ. If you are just praying your house, you are tarka, not so, and you are just doing by yourself. إِرْكَعُوا مَعَ الرَّاكِعِينَ, that means go to the masjid when everybody is praying, and you pray with everyone. محل الرحمة, محل المغفرة, محل ملائكة الله. If you are looking for mercy, for forgiveness, you are to be in the neighborhood of the angels. The ahadith tell us that is the masjid. That is the place that you should go. When the Quran said, إِنَّمَا يَعْمُرُ مَسَاجِدَ اللَّهِ, the maintenance of the mosque is not just maintenance in a sense of like material that we put together and make the building, but in a sense of attending. Ta'amir masajid Allah, imarat masajid Allah means al-musharaka. When we participate, we are maintaining the masjid. The mechanism of maintenance is musharaka, participation. So one function of the masjid is a salat. One function of masjid, yatlu alayhim ayatim, to recite the Holy Quran. But also the masjid, a place where yuzakkihim wa yu'allimuhum al-kitab wal-hikmah, a place of purification, a place of education. If you want to do any change in our life, we need to have education. Education is the tool of change. Education is a tool of transformation. So masjid is a place of spiritual, intellectual change and transformation. This is a place that we get direction, we get purpose for our life, we get familiar with the divine destination. What is really the purpose and destination for our life? This is the function of masjid education. When we come to the masjid, we enjoy the fellowship with the other faithful. Like every Friday, it is our weekly visitation that we visit one another in a form of congregation and in the form of conversation between one another. So one part of the masjid is a spiritual part. It is about faith. It's about divine duty. It's about our obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But another part of the masjid is about our neighborhood. It is about brotherhood. It is about encouragement, about inspiration. It's about empowering our community. And the third part of the masjid's function is that the masjid is a place to promote peace and justice. A place to promote truth, human rights and human dignity. So brothers and sisters, if anybody in this community cares for his faith and her faith, should care for coming to the buyut of Allah. If we care for our family, if we care for our youth, if we care for our future, so one way of demonstrating our responsibility is to attend the buyut Allah, to participate in Salatul Jummah. I hope that one day in this community, and I don't know when that day is coming, because we need lots of education, lots of awareness. I hope that one day nobody would miss the masjid, nobody would miss Friday prayer. The only time that we may miss it is that there is a real emergency is going on. Things out of control. Otherwise, when we hear the adhan, we are there. Some people keep saying that, you know, anytime something happens in this community, we hear people on, you know, Facebook, Twitter, here and there. Where are the masjids? Where are the imams? Well, where were you till now? You gather in Argili place in the basement, the garage, and you have your conversation there. You never come to the masjid, and then something happened, and you expect the masjid to make a miracle. Because masjid means all of us. Masjid is not just one sheikh. Masjid is not only one committee. Masjid means the faithful, the community in general. They are saying that, well, to bring people to the masjid, we should go to the people. They say, Imam should go. Okay. Anytime I hear that somebody passed away, somebody is sick, in ahzan, in afrah, any occasion, somebody calls me, I'm ready, we go. It was just last Tuesday, the secretary told me that somebody called from hospital in Ann Arbor, and it was late in the afternoon, and it was raining so bad. And I had a very busy schedule. I said, okay, let me just fix the thing, and I'm on my way to the hospital. It was so dark and rainy, and I'm not good in driving when it's especially dark, and worse, even raining, it just makes it so hard. But still I didn't care. I said, this is a duty. And I didn't know even the person. I never saw that individual. And I went, and in Ann Arbor Hospital, in a very bad situation. There was a lady, and they had tied her on the bed because she was about to kill herself. They had assigned somebody over there that stopped her, despite that she could not move her hands or her feet. But still, they were scared that something may happen. And I spent almost 2 hours talking with the individual and providing some spiritual help, some prayer, some hope, some motivation to change her mind and go with the doctor's ideas and medicine. Leaving the hospital, I'm tired, I'm hungry, it's dark, it's raining, it's narrow streets on Ann Arbor, it's hard to drive for me. But that is how it is. We do everything. Of course, we don't have ilm al-ghaib. There are so many other things may happen in community, and people expect us to have ilm al-ghaib to know everything, everywhere, anytime. But it is, brothers and sisters, the responsibility of us as, we go there. We go to the places of business, to, the doctors, to, sport places, but then they should come to the masjid to set an example as well. When doctors come to the masjid, when the business people come to the masjid, when athletes come to the masjid, when they set an example for their own followers, they are rewarded that we go, they come, we participate, and we support this cause. Allah yarhamu wa Imam al-Khomeini Qudus Sirru used to say that the masajid are your husun, your stronghold. Don't empty this husun, because if you empty your stronghold in Jabhatul Qital, when you leave your stronghold and it's empty, the enemy can attack you. The enemy can attack our youth. And this is why how the shaitan attacks through drugs and drinking and depression and alcohol and violence and crimes. And this is the problem of our youth. Google, what are the youth issues and problems? You see hundreds of these issues come out. Millions of articles and books about the youth problem in this country and the world. The shaitan attacks the youth when they empty the stronghold and they are vulnerable. So brothers and sisters, especially now that we are approaching Ashura, and we have wonderful guests. Sheikh Fadil is coming from London. We have a few young brothers. They are coming from Britain too to participate in recitation, in lecture, to get more education and inspiration from the masjid, and especially in the days of Muharram and Ashura. Don't let shaitan come say, my children are saying that the masjid is boring. Masjid is boring? The school is boring too. University is boring too. You don't go to a school because that's boring? Anything that's boring. And what do you mean by boring? Masjid is boring. Do you expect masjid to provide entertainment? You want us to invite some singers and dancers from Hollywood to the masjid to provide entertainment? Then it's not boring anymore? And everybody likes it? Masjid is a place that build of manner and morality and spirituality. And we should care for that, brothers and sisters. There are so many things in life that are hard, but we don't give up just because something is hard. We know that is the way to be successful in life. There are some people say, I don't want to, force my kids to go to the masjid. I don't like force. Of course, Islam is not a religion of force. But there are so many other areas that you force your children. Don't you force your children to go to a school? Don't you force them to go to university? Don't you force your kids to fix their room? To brush their teeth? To eat their breakfast? To clean their environment? You push them, you motivate them. You have to do the same thing. If you care for your kids to be spiritually strong, you have to do that. Some people say, well, anytime I go to the masjid, they are asking for money. I mean, why you are worried? You never paid, by the way. Because this comes from people who never pay. Those who pay, they never talk like that. But those who don't, They say, well, anytime you go, they ask for money. Okay, you go and you don't pay. Nobody can kill you to pay money, right? And why you have energy even to hear about this? And this poor masajid, I cannot talk for other masajid, but you see House of Wisdom, a house that is working and operating day and night, locally, nationally, internationally, outreach. We minimize our rest and maximize our energy and time to serve our community, serve our faith. And this place is running every day based on less than $1,000, brothers and sisters, is nothing to such a big operation of services in daily manner. And when we are talking about 1,000, we are talking about utility, we are talking about taxes. Yes, we have to pay taxes. There are 2 old houses here, we just received $7,000, $8,000 taxes next door. And maintenance and the staff and provide stuff for the services and so many other things. So it's minimum, so don't worry about that. Alhamdulillah that, those who are in the heart of this operation of this mosque, they are not looking for money for themselves. Otherwise, the masjid could not survive and could not continue this operation. We do it for the sake of Allah, and Allah is taking care of our life anyway. But don't get allergy that somebody said that, when we go to the masajid, they are talking. So, no excuse for not to attending Salatul Jummah, not attending to masjid. No excuse. They say, I don't have time. Oh, you don't have time. You go on Facebook and I see you all in the, Argili places and having fun and friends and families all over every day. You change it. And now when it comes to the masjid, you don't have time at all. You have time for everything else. I'm not talking about you who are sitting here. Obviously, you are already here. I'm talking about those people who create these excuses. So don't say that I'm busy and I don't have time. Just say I'm lazy, I'm careless, I'm irresponsible. I don't care about my faith, my future, my family. That is the real issues. And we cannot fool Allah. We cannot fool the owner of the house of Allah with cheap talks. Brothers and sisters, if we keep our masajid strong, I don't care about Islamophobia. Islamophobia is a real issue. But it becomes a real issue if we are weak, if we are strong. The Jews, they have anti-Semitism. Didn't have, it was much worse than Islamophobia. They could not even buy a land in this country. They could not build a synagogue in this country. But look what happened in their history. If we are strong, if we keep the masjid as the center of city, and get together and visit and educate one another and help one another and support one another, then Islamophobia cannot do nothing. Let me end. Time is limited. You heard about this Madloom Sheikh Namir, Bakr and Namir in Saudi. Finally, the Saudi court decided to kill the Sheikh. Already we know the mentality of the Saudi is the ISIS mentality, Al-Qaeda mentality, Al-Nusra mentality. It's Al-Irhabi mentality. It's a terrorist mentality. They started before 9/11. And everybody knows about that, but unfortunately nobody does anything because of oil, because of whatever the reason. Because they are good puppets, they can be part of any problem. Show me any solution in the Middle East ever that the Saudi Arabia, Saudi kingdom was ever part of any help, any solution for the people in the Middle East. They were part of every and each problem and never part of any solution. That is the reality of the history of this house. Even they call it Saudi. Even the name of the country is named of the family. I mean, you cannot find any country in the name of the family. Looks, they think that the whole country is their personal property. So what was the jarima? What was the crime of this sheikh? He spoke. He didn't take a gun. He didn't kill anybody. He didn't hurt anybody. He just spoke against the corruption of the kingdom. Does he deserve to die just because of his expression? Some of you read what I wrote. I wrote it to all the imams. Yesterday I wrote to the Saudi ambassador in Washington, and I emailed it, and then I called back and I made sure that they received the email, and they confirmed that they received the email, and they told me the office of ambassador said that he's going to print and give the ambassador the message of our deep concern for such an evil decision. And I said that I hope that it is a rumor, I hope it's not true. But if it is true, that's a big shame, and it's a big and bigger damage to your image, if there is any image left, by the way. So cancel this and free this sheikh. 2 years now he's in jail, he's been tortured, he was shot, he was wounded, he's been in pain and suffering. Enough is enough. Free him from jail. That is what he deserves, and you have to apologize to Sheikh, not to kill him, but unfortunately this is a terrorism that's going on. They are supporting it in Syria, they are supporting it in Iraq. They used to say the problem is Maliki. Okay, Maliki is gone now. Why are you going to stop that? Even yesterday, more than 40 people, innocent people in Shi'ia areas and neighborhood in Baghdad were killed. And more than 100 were wounded. Every day this happens. And it's been happening for more than 10 years. When some people from us die, looks like normal. Nobody has to say anything, it's normal. If somebody else is killed, you can hear the voices that who did it and why did it, and we have to follow up. But this happens every day, and unfortunately, they don't care. Because that is a part of big mess, by the way. It's not just Shia and Sunni issue. You see in Egypt now is a big mess. You see the biggest mess in the Muslim world is in Libya. Can you imagine the mess in Libya is much worse than Iraq, much worse than Syria. And that means that, brothers and sisters, there is a huge need for huge islah fil ummah. We need a big Islam. And the Islam is not only in the practices of the Saudi Arabia. Islam needs to be started from that evil ideology of Amavi that is mentioned in these Salafi books. Subhanallah, if you read some of these books, in the name of Quran, they bring you 50 verses to say it is good and it is okay to behead people. And those brainwashed people, they are really convinced based on wrong interpretation of the verses. And that wrong interpretation is based on some fake ahadith that the Prophet never said it. But these ahadith were created by Bani Umayyah, by Yazid and the others to justify their kingdom. They made all these ahadith, and unfortunately the ahadith still in the books. And this is why al-islah fil kutub, al-islah fil afkar, al-islah fil aqaid, a need for renovation of the ummah, reformation of the ummah. And Ashura is coming, brothers and sisters, and we never forget when Imam al-Hussein said, أريد الإصلاح في أمة جديد. It's not بشرا ولا ظالما. أريد الإصلاح في أمة الأمر بالمعروف والنهي عن المنكر. أريد الإصلاح في أمة جديد. We need this islah and we need this reformation, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide us, to direct us, and to bless us with the Ashura that is coming, the Nahj al-Balagha class that we have started, and this Sunday is going to be the second lesson from the lessons we learned from Nahj al-Balagha. And I really urge brothers and sisters to come as a family on Friday and on Sunday. Free breakfast and Nahj al-Balagha and family atmosphere. This is a great gift that God has given to us. Let us use this gift and appreciate it and save our youth and support our faith. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. صدق الله العلي العظيم.
صلوا على محمد وآل محمد.